Here we are. Let's take a look at questions 1 through 12 on section 7.3. The first question says the square root of 7 times the square root of 2. We can rewrite this because they are the same root. We can write them under a common square root, and I would get the square root of 14. Number 2, I have the square root of 11 times the square root of 10. Again, we would write them under a common square root. 11 times 10 is 110. Now, we should check to see if there's any perfect squares in here. We knew there wasn't here. And if I factor 11 and factor 10, I get 2 and 5. There is no common factors. So we're good leaving it like that. Number 3, I have the fourth root of 8 times the fourth root of 2. In this one, since we have a common root number, they're both fourth root. 8 times 2 is 16. And if we look at our cards, we know that the fourth root of 16 is 2. Number 4, if I have the fourth root of 27 times the fourth root of 3, I get the fourth root of 27 times 3, which is 81. And I know that from my card, the fourth root of 81 is 3. And number 5, if I have the cube root of 4 times the cube root of 9, when I multiply it together under the common root of cube root, I get 36. I know that 36 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3, or 4 times 9. None of them are a perfect cube, so this is my final answer. For number 6, I have the cube root of 10 times the cube root of 5, which gives me the cube root of 50. Again, check for perfect cubes like 8 and 27. Neither of those divide into there. For number 7, I have the square root of 2 times the square root of 3x, which gives me the square root of 6x. No perfect squares in there. Number 8, if I have the square root of 3y times the square root of 5x, I get the square root of 15xy. There's no perfect square xy. There's no perfect squares in here. 4 doesn't divide in there. 9 doesn't divide in there. So we're done. Moving on to number 9. If I have the square root of 7 over x times the square root of 2 over y, that's the same thing as the square root of 7 times 2 is 14. X times y is xy. No perfect squares in there, so nothing to simplify. Number 10, if I have the square root of 6 over m times the square root of n over 5, if I multiply, I'm going to get the square root of 6n, and on the bottom I would put the 5 in front of the m. Number 11, I have the fourth root of 4x cubed times the fourth root of 5. When I multiply, I get the fourth root of 20x cubed. There's no perfect fourth roots in 20 because 16 and 81 is too big. For number 12, I have the fourth root of ab squared times the fourth root of 27ab. 27. And when I multiply, I get the fourth root of 27. A times A gives me A squared. B times B squared gives me B to the third. None of those are greater than the fourth power. This is 3 times 3 times 3, a times a, b times b times b. None of them big enough to bring out. So we're done. Good luck. Good luck.